Hey guys, Captain here. I know it's been a really long time since I made a video, super overdue. So I figured I should finally put one out eventually. I was busy for a while, although for the past 2 months or so I haven't really had that much of an excuse. But anyways, I do want to get back into making videos because it is something I really enjoy. And for this video, it's mostly going to be an update video, but I'll try and have some kind of at least content to look at in the background. I went to New York already about 2 months ago. It was early November, and I stopped in a Lego store there. I think it was in the Rockefeller Center. I don't know exactly which Lego store it was. And I noticed that their pick-a-model was actually the Statue of Liberty. So in the meantime, while I'm talking this video, I'm going to see if I can reverse engineer that thing and build it, because it's a pretty cute build. And I assume that the New York City Lego store is the only one that actually has that build as their pick-a-model, since I've definitely not seen it anywhere else. But anyway, yeah, the point is that it's been a while since I made a video, and it seems I forgot to get 4x4 plates, which I guess is fine, because in my finite wisdom I must have realized that I have a couple 4x4 tan plates sitting around in my collection at home. Anyways, the real point of this video is kind of for me to talk about what my plans are for the channel in the future. So this is a channel that grows over time, even when I'm not really active on it, but it's never been an enormous channel. And while it would be fun to have it be an enormous channel, I don't think YouTube is anything I could ever do as a full-time job. I know that there are full-time, even Lego YouTubers. I've actually met Brick101 a couple of times. I'm sure some of you guys watch his channel. But I'm not sure that's something I would ever do. This is always probably going to be a hobby channel for me, which is why the videos are sometimes separated by weeks or months, rather than, you know, when I'm being active, putting one out every weekend, or even a little more often. So one of the things I do want to ask you guys is what kind of content would you guys actually like to see on this channel? Now, I do plan on sticking to Lego content. I don't really plan on doing other stuff on this channel. I occasionally still post on my old channel, which maybe a few of you early subscribers may have migrated over from that channel. But even that channel I don't post on too much. I occasionally stream gaming content on Twitch, but it's definitely a very different type of content than what I produce for this channel. And kind of one of the main reasons I ask is because I just want to know what sort of Lego videos you guys would like to see. I don't usually ask this in my videos. Sometimes I kind of ask what Pokemon you guys might like to see, and Pokemon is certainly not a video series I plan on stopping. They're very popular, and I think they're pretty fun to build. In fact, I've actually had some Pokemon designs just sitting on my computer digitally for quite a while. I was a little bit set back in making videos because I had some computer issues again, and I lost my video editing software for a while. I had to buy new software because I was out of keys for the old one. But anyways, I guess I want to throw out some builds that I thought would be cool to make. I did watch Star Wars: The Last Jedi a few weeks ago. And in that film, there were a bunch of builds that you know, I could make. For one, there were a couple of vehicles. I know there were a few new Imperial ships, or whatever, First Order ships, that are basically variants on Star Destroyers, and I could maybe try and build one of those in a mini form. Although I don't think that's terribly exciting because, like I said, they're really similar to Star Destroyers. But I could still, you know, make it. I do think some of the Rebel ships were pretty cool. They've definitely appeared before in past media. I think they appeared in the original trilogy, and I know I've definitely seen them in some of the video games like Rogue Squadron and stuff like that. So maybe I could try and build some of those on my kind of classic mini/micro scale. And I could maybe also try and build like a slightly larger scale. By larger scale, I mean in tune with, or kind of the same scale as like my BB-8 and R2-D2 a Porg. I don't know if you guys loved them or hated them, but I know Porgs have definitely been a popular character from the Lego Star Wars, or from the Star Wars movie, and they have a really micro Lego form that's available with that enormous collector's edition Millennium Falcon. But you know, maybe I could try and build one that's a little larger, like maybe, you know, again, about the size of BB-8 or R2-D2. So that's something I could do. Just you know, various inspiration I've kind of come up with. But if there are any builds you guys would particularly like to see, obviously I actually do read all the comments, and I look at all the requests I get, and I don't always, you know, take all of them seriously. There's some builds that I don't personally think are interesting to make, but I still do read all the requests you guys put in the comments, or other comments you guys give. So I'm definitely checking that out at the very least. And yeah, as far as Pokemon go, again, I do read the comments for suggestions of those, although I usually just build whichever Pokemon I think are interesting. Sometimes if one is popular, I am more likely to build it, that kind of thing. I've also spent a lot of my personal time playing Pokemon Go recently. I know I made a small amount of Pokemon Go videos in the past, and some of the ones I put out right at the beginning when Pokemon Go launched were pretty popular, and since then not so much. So I'm assuming you guys don't really want to see that kind of content on this channel. Although if there is demand for it, I would be more than happy to make that kind of content, because like I said, it's how I'm spending a lot of my personal free time. And other than that, if you guys have any other things you guys would like me to build that maybe I haven't gone to, or things I haven't done in a while, like Mario Kart. I haven't done that in years, but if you guys would really like to see it, maybe I could do something like that. I know some of the builds I've done on this channel are kind of Nintendo-centric, and so I know that's a little bit of what the audience here likes. And so if you guys have any other suggestions like that, I would be happy to consider those. One kind of request that I did do was the Arwing from Star Fox, and so I could do stuff like that. Anyways, in the meantime, probably for the rest of this video, I'm going to see if I can figure out how to build the rest of this Statue of Liberty. And okay, so that means probably I'm going to need plates like this, and then let's tile it up. One thing I did forget. Now, I don't usually buy myself Lego sets. I don't really plan on doing set reviews, although I do collect the Architecture series of sets. I don't know if something like a speed build of that would be interesting for you guys to watch. Then, that's something to throw out there. One more thing is, I'm actually curious how you guys would feel about if I streamed my design process for making builds. These days, I still tinker around sometimes with parts that I own, but a lot of my designing for some of the builds, especially Pokemon even, is done digitally. It's just kind of easier for me to do this, and there wasn't something feasible for me to do in the past because of the way I used to build the Lego Pokemon. For one, I used to use a lot more illegal connections. Like if you go and look back, Alakazam pops to mind, Electabuzz pops to mind. Some of these Pokemon were built with illegal connections, which you can't recreate in Lego Digital Designer. And these days, I try and avoid those connections, usually because they make the build more stable, and because I've got a greater access to parts nowadays. It makes it easier to get the pieces that I want, so I don't have to improvise as much with connections when I can often just get the perfect piece, and that helps a lot. Again, sometimes I believe I still use some illegal connections with Greninja, but for the most part, it's not really something I have to rely on anymore, which I would personally say is definitely really nice. And but anyway, yeah, so since a lot of my process at this point is done on Lego Digital Designer, but even, you know, for physical stuff, I do own a webcam. So I could potentially stream my actual design process for building stuff. In that way, you guys could kind of get a sneak peek preview of videos, and I could stream this. I could stream it on YouTube. I'm definitely familiar with streaming on Twitch, so I would personally prefer to do that, but I could stream it on YouTube. So if there would be interest in it, that's definitely something I could do. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in that. But yeah, as a quick wrap up, you know, if you guys have any video requests, then this is definitely a time to give them to me. I'll read them otherwise, but I'm trying to kind of centralize them right here. You know, you guys can have some discussion on what sort of content you'd like to see, and ultimately I'll still, you know, decide whether or not I want to do something. Like, there's some builds that I just simply don't think are interesting, so I wouldn't make them. But there's that, and then I'd kind of like your opinions on some of the things that I asked about, and especially the live streaming of my building process. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the little update video. Hope you enjoyed watching the Statue of Liberty get built in the background. And with that, I guess, I hope you stick around. Here's to hopefully a video-filled 2018.